We can start with you. Okay, there we go. Give me one more second. Let me come back to the screen. Yes, today is all your day only, so you can, all of you, just simply take over. So give me a minute and let's begin with you. So you'll have to give me one moment to figure this out. So Vaishali wants to go first. Just a second.
Yeah.
Okay. So we put Vaishali as the pin. It takes me time to figure out the YouTube each time. Okay, Vaishali. So here is today's topic. It's all about the miracles that we've experienced in this year. So go ahead, whatever it is you want to share with us.
What you see behind me
Yes.
is my new house.
Oh, so wonderful.
This
Wow,
is a
congratulations.
thank
Yes.
you.
Wow. Okay. So it went full force. It's
Yes,
getting ready. It's getting completed.
yes, yes,
Wonderful.
yes, yes. And it's
Beautiful.
all due to your grace. It's the whole credit goes to you, your guidance. Wow, the journey is so amazing, and I'm getting goosebumps to share the story. So, started in January this year, and my husband had applied for a loan of 20 lakhs, which I was against. Of I did my money program again, that assignment again, and I said, "Nahi ho payega. I will never be able to meet this much money. I will never be able to pay off the debts with this salary, etc., etc." एंड मिराकुलस स्टोरीज या उसके बाद उनकी मेरी लड़ाई उसके बाद कोई लोन ही नहीं और रिश्तेदार आ रहे हैं डूअरशिप में और वो पैसा देके जा रहे हैं मेरे बिना मांगे आई नेवर आस्क्ड फॉर मनी एंड दे आर जस्ट I see Shiva in them and I say, no, you have been told to give me. I don't know how I'm going to pay because they are only arranging, they are only telling the EMIs that I'm supposed to. They are only telling that you don't pay for the first 6 months. You know, you started. I said, okay, whatever and however you plan it, because I never asked for it. I know it has been provided to me. I know you are going to make arrangements how it's going to be paid. And it is going so well. In between, I one of the contractors had, in money form, he took away the money, which was probably I gathered in lakh.
Yes.
And blessings to that contractor also, because ever since, उसकी मर्जी की नहीं, मेरी मर्जी की नहीं तो उसकी मर्जी की तो हो ही रही है, बहुत बढ़िया हो रहा है. और बीच में once Mani told me to go to Rishikesh and just observe Ganga, dip your feet into it, and my guidance was just flow now. उसके बाद जो मैंने किया वो मेरी बॉडी फॉर्म में पॉसिबल नहीं था. I in human form I couldn't have done it. In about weeks time मैंने 3 घरों से सामान शिफ्ट करके एक 1 BHK में शिफ्ट करके, I mean I thought I'll be zomatoing food for my daughter because I'll not be able to settle. वो 3 जगह से शिफ्ट करके I had a fully operated kitchen. And the kitchen is like one slab, okay, just one slab, no cylinder, only induction in the first 7 days. Still my daughter and I were never fed on bread, butter or Zomato or any food from outside. I had full 3-course meal on the table served. How well it got settled, how money in different forms appeared to help, have without having to run pillar to post. Today, since morning, since 2 months, every morning I wake up with a call of some labor or the other. They say, दीदी ये सामान चाहिए. I only am told to chant कुछ भी, ओम हरि राम मैं मनी. आज कहीं से आते हुए one dog licked me. I couldn't believe. Why are you licking me? You're out of blues. Why are you licking me and going? So much of love. And I said, why not? Because I'm money. और बहुत ही सुंदर अनुभव, बहुत ही सुंदर. I want to add this to the script that this house is not on my name. This house is on the previous party's name. That means there's no mutation. And I'm so happy because one thing I really resonated once I had spoken to you about this is that I don't need a name plate on any particular piece of land because the whole world is mine.
How beautiful.
And I'm open to just move out of this house any day when money tells me to. So I'm so happy, so blessed. Thank you. I don't know how many times I should say that. But बहुत gratitude. मेरी बस की नहीं थी ह्यूमन फॉर्म में, तो एनर्जी फॉर्म में जो भी आपने काम करवाया, जैसे भी आपने करवाया, जस्ट ग्रैटिट्यूड. थैंक यू.
How amazing is the joy in your voice. Itna sun ke maza aa raha hai. We can already just feel the bubbling joy inside you, and it is so beautiful. कुछ भी काम होता है बाहर अंदर ना, तो वो सिर्फ हमको जॉय देने के लिए हो रहा है. And if you are receiving the joy in the moment, बस तो हो गई ना मस्ती. इस मोमेंट की मस्ती हो गई. आगे क्या पीछे क्या वो किसको देखना है. The house is right now a source of joy for you, and that is the most amazing thing. How beautiful your miracle story. I remember when your contractor walked away with the money, and then you had kind of reached out to me and saying, now what will we do and how will this happen and blah blah blah. And I always say ki if somebody has taken your money, then simply be in that place, simply be in the place to be able to see that he hasn't taken your money. It is our frequency that is, yeah, that is at work even over here. And so you were able to see that and see how beautifully the next steps and the next steps keep coming through. कितनी ही प्यारी बात, बहुत मस्ती, बहुत मजा आया सुन के वैशाली. That is so amazing a start to the session. So who wants to go next and share their story? If you don't offer your name first, then what I will do is I will start calling out to people. And uske baad to tumko kuch na kuch karna hi padega. Yeah, Sonali, let's see you go at it. Let's hear you speak.
Hi.
Hi.
I joined the EM course, I think, when my mother was very sick. And I was guided because it would just keep popping up all the time. And I was always, putting it off. I used to be like, right now, I don't have that kind of time. So it kept popping. So I joined the course. And while I was doing the course, my mom, actually, it so happened that in January, on the 1st of January, 2021, I got a call from the neighbor in Ahmednagar, where my mom was living alone, that we have not seen her for the last 1 week, and we are not sure how she is. So we think you should go there and check up on her. And she's not been opening the door. So I used to talk to her almost every day. So I called her up, and she sounded down, but she said, I'm okay, I'm all right. So that was the time when I landed up in Nagar the same night, and she didn't seem too well. So I packed her up, got her to Pune, and she got admitted that night. We had to admit her. She was in the hospital for 15-20 days, and it from that moment onwards, I realized that how everything was working in my favor, because she was supposed to be treated for her kidney problems, but the minute we landed in Pune, we ended up going to a doctor who put the stethoscope and said she has some heart issue. It's not got to do with the kidney. It's the blood circulation is not good. That's why the kidneys are suffering. So that is how it was detected. But later on, she was taking treatment. And at that moment, he had told us her heart is very weak. So we don't know how long this will go on. That was Jan. At her last hospitalization, that was July, around June, I think I did my course. And in July, she was back in the hospital. She was very weak. And uh, the very funny thing was, my sister flew down from Sydney. And when I used to be in the hospital with my mother, she would be quite nice. She would eat her food, she would have her medicines, she would sleep on time, she would let the doctor check her and all that. When my sister would be there, she would be another person.
Wow.
To the point of when I would be there, she would ask for coffee. And when my sister was there, she would ask for tea. She would not touch the coffee. So my sister was very frustrated. Actually, in the last 2 or 3 days, she'd start crying on the phone and say, "Sona, I can't do this. I can't sit with her. I can't see her." So I said, the minute you think you want to leave, just leave. Just don't think twice. Just leave. I'll be there when I can be there, and don't think too much. Just So that same evening, I landed up. This was the 20th of July. I landed up in the hospital, and I told her, you carry on, you go ahead, you go home. And for the next few days, don't even think about the hospital. Don't come here. I'll be here. I'll take care of everything. And that same night, and in fact, it was very funny because my mom used to talk to me, and with my sister, she used to do sign language. She used to not talk a single word to my sister for like 2 months. My sister was in town. She said, I've not heard her speak to me.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it was very funny. And that night what happened, I could see she was very down. And whenever I used to be a little bothered, I used to imagine Mani sitting on her bedside, and I used to talk to Mani. And so
I can't hear.
so
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there, and Mani was there, and she was coughing a bit. She was not sleeping, so I was talking to Mani, and Mani is telling me, "I'm here. You can go to sleep." So I said, "How can I sleep when she is not sleeping? And she may need something." So he says her energies will know how to get what she needs.
Wow.
So you can go to sleep, because you will need to sleep. So I said, "Oh, no, I'll sit and talk to you." So that night I was sitting there, and I was actually talking to Mani, and he's telling me that um she is going into her energy form,
Yes.
and she is, let's say, now almost close to her 100% energy form. And do you think that she's powerless in that state? Right now, she can't move a finger, she can't speak, she's just coughing. So even if she wants help, she can't ask for help. You think so? But you tell me, in 100% energy form, would she be helpless and powerless? So I said, no, she won't be. And so he said, yeah, so she is turning into that stage, and you have to learn to accept that she is moving there. And it was very funny because there were incidences which were very weird, because once I went into her room, she was in the ICU, and she used to not talk to my sister was there. And all of a sudden she held my hand and she said, "Sona, I'm not leaving you." And my sister got very scared. Now, why is she saying that? So I said, I know why she's saying that. No, because I think I know what she speaks. I know her language now, because she was totally talking in energies, and my
Yes.
sister would not understand. My
Yeah.
sister would start crying, and my mother would just shut down. She would refuse to even communicate sign
Yeah.
language.
Yeah.
And I could totally get it, because after that moment, honestly, that night, I was just guided into surrender. I didn't do anything. I don't remember chanting. I don't remember doing anything, but I was at so much peace. And that early morning, 6 o'clock, the doctor came and she said, we have to shift her to the CCU, and, she'll be there because she'll need all the oxygen and stuff like that. And I said, fine. So I went with her, and then I came back to take the things from the room, and I just felt so sleepy. I slept off. I slept off there. And then I got a call around 8 o'clock, and this guy, he's screaming, "Are you the relative of so and so? And how can you go to sleep? And your mother is there, and then she's got just few moments, and you're sleeping, and whatever." And I was really, for a minute, I was scared. And then I was just guided to call the doctor who was treating her and ask him, what time are you reaching the hospital? So he said, I'll be there around 9 o'clock. And then I was just told to tell him, I'll see you. I will not see any other doctor. I will talk to you. And it was very funny when the doctor came. I reached there, the doctor was there, he called me in, and the first thing he tells me is, we have decided that we are not going to put any needles in her, no more tests, no more medication. We are just going to support her, just to see that she will not suffocate in her last moments. She will be at ease. There will be a lot of ease and grace. When he said that, I knew who's talking. So, and he said, she is on her own now.
Yeah.
And it was so amazing. This was exactly what Mani said in the night, that do you think she is helpless or powerless? And she's on her own now. And he said, we have few minutes, maybe, or hours or seconds. We don't know, because she's on her own. It's her decision now whenever she wishes to leave. So I said, I'll call my sister if she's interested to meet her and whatever. And then my sister came, she's crying. She went in, she met mom, she cried, she came out. And then when we were sitting, I told her, see, listen now, she is totally into her energy form right now. She can't move a finger. She can't even bat an eyelid. But I said, when you talk to her, you can see on the screen what is happening, how things are changing. Her BP is changing, all the beeps. And I told my sister, you have to learn to understand that we who are right now with our hands and legs intact and great heart and condition and all, we are all powerless in her situation. She is holding the power. And it was the doctor just speaking her language, that I don't, she used to say that I don't want any more needles, I don't want medicines. She was sick of it. So she was like, I that's what the doctor said, that let her go away with ease and grace, and you have to accept that. So my sister thought I'd gone mad. She's like, wrong with you? Why can't we get someone else? Why can't we shift her to another clinic? This and that. So that was happening. So I told her, in case you want someone to meet her, so you can. So my sister called her daughter. We didn't know if mama would last another minute. That afternoon, mommy met her daughter, and then mama had adopted a daughter. She's in Bombay. So we said, we'll call her. And this person said that I cannot come tonight. My husband can't see very clearly, so we can't drive. So we'll come tomorrow. So my sister, she's not going to last till tomorrow. I said, we can tell her that she is coming tomorrow. If you wish to meet her, she'd be here.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I went in, I spoke to my mom. I said, Nisha is coming in tomorrow. She can't come in today because her husband can't see very well in the night. And if you wish to see her, she'll be here tomorrow. So amazingly, in the morning, the doctor calls me and tells me that, her BP is stable now. And now we are at a loss, because earlier we could tell you that this is 24 hours, this is 10 hours, or this is 12. Now we don't know, because this is something that has reversed, because it was dropping slowly and now it's just stopped where it is.
Yeah.
And I knew what it was.
Yes, of course.
So I was like, yeah, fine. We're fair. We're okay with it. Then again, Nisha called to say, I'll be delayed. I'll be coming in by 4 o'clock. So that afternoon, I went into my mom's. We had timings to meet her. So I went in and I was talking to her. And that moment was very funny because, since I've lost her in July, that was the only time I had tears in my eyes. It must have been for barely 2 seconds I had tears in my eyes. And I just said, Mama, it's fine. I know that, your work here is done and you need to move on. And it's your choice. Nisha said she's coming by 4, so let's hope. But I am done with whatever is. And I'm so grateful for you to being with me and all that. And there were tears in her eyes. There were tears flowing from her eyes. So it was so touching. It was, that whole dialogue was happening in energies, and
How
I could
beautiful.
make out.
Yes.
And the moment I started leaving, there was some hook or something on her bed which caught into my dress. My dress, salwar tore there. And I remember she said, I'm not leaving you.
So beautiful.
So,
See? How
and
amazing.
when I came out and I told this to my sister, I told her about money, I told her about these things. And she was, yeah, you're right, because she's just carrying on. The doctor's saying, we don't know now. We totally are clueless about. Then that evening, Nisha came, she met her husband came, and it was very funny that then we came out and her husband said, Nisha is diabetic, she's not eaten since yesterday, so if we can have food somewhere and all. So we went into the canteen and then everybody ordered a lot of stuff. So it was looking like a big feast,
Feast.
because it was looking like a feast. And this Nisha started crying that, look how we are eating when mom is just about on her last breath. I said, this is what she's ordered for us.
Yeah.
She wants us to celebrate her, so this is the way she wants to go. Who are we to question right now?
Yeah.
So
So
we had
amazing understandings.
that feast, we had that lovely feast. And then I said, okay, whoever wants to hang around the hospital, hang around. I have to go back, get the documentation and everything. all her Aadhaar card and stuff. So I went back home. Chris was at home, and I said, we may need to leave in some time. So he said, okay, I've got something packed. If you can warm it up for me, I'll have dinner. So, we all had our dinner. We all had food very nicely. Exactly 45 minutes after I reached home, I'd collected her stuff. I got the call from the hospital that she is no more. So we went there, and it was very funny because in her last few years, she had changed her name on the Aadhaar card. So now her spellings were different. The Aadhaar card is different. The hospital registration is different spelling. Her insurance is different spelling. And it was, everybody was very, the hospital was more disturbed. And this happened at around 9:30, 10 in the night. It so happened that a friend of mine called Pallavi, she's a doctor, she had landed up in the hospital just to check up on me. So she was there with her vehicle. And we went to the doctor, and he said there is mismatch in the. At none of these times that they were telling me that the death pass won't be issued because there is name difference, spelling difference, and all that. There was nothing happening in me. There was absolutely nothing. I was just listening to them, and I said, fine. And they said, what spelling do we write? I said, you write whatever spelling is written in your documents. And let's go about this. So I was told, no, it'll take about 2 hours in Sassoon to get the death certificate and pass and stuff like that. And still they will ask you for a bribe because there's this name difference and all that and all that. So I said, we'll see about it. And then it so happened that Pallavi, somebody else spoke to Pallavi that how Sonali and her mom, and Pallavi said, no, the mom is gone. So Gauri, I'm not very close to Gauri. Gauri landed up. So there were people who, there were no relatives. And in fact, in 2014, my mom had written a note on her own birthday and given me that when I go, I do not want any relatives around you except, my daughters. And I don't want you to call anybody for the last rites and all. Whatever you decide as last rites will be my last rites. And whoever's present there will be my relatives. So I don't want anybody to come specially from here and there just for this. And funnily, these two people who had no clue about who my mom was, who never met my mother, were there. And it is funny because it was around 10:30, 11 in the night, so all the lifts were easily accessible, everything was open, the roads were empty. We went to Sassoon. We were told that it takes around minimum 2 hours to 4 hours to get your stuff. There was nobody there, so we knocked on the window. He took out the thing, we submitted the documents, he gave us a death pass. Not even 2 minutes. He didn't check any spellings. It was every moment, there was so much gratitude for this. I could just see money with me all the time. I could just see there were vehicles ready to go. There was nothing to, book a vehicle, find somebody who knows the way, the night, nothing like it was just moving on. Even later on, when they said that would you like to wait for the insurance, so you'll have to wait for a day or two and then take the body, or would you like to do the last rite? So I said, she's written, she doesn't want to wait, so I'll pay and take it. एक credit card चला मेरा, एक debit card चला मेरा, एक debit card नहीं चला. And I was at the counter. My sister and Nisha were with mom, the body. And so Chris said, you want to go to an ATM, you want to try something else. And then I was just thinking, who should I just, call or somebody's. And then this Gauri, who's not very close, who doesn't know my family, she comes and she puts her credit card and she says, how much is it? Just take it. So it's some 50,000 something.
And grace. Ease and grace.
And it is, my sister was later on so hurt that, mommy didn't, you should have asked Nisha, you should have asked this. I said, she didn't want it. She did not want it. As simple as that.
But that's fine. The sister is hurt because she still holds hurt energies. That's it.
Yeah, but
everything can become a reason, right? So yeah, but so beautiful, these understandings. And you know what?
It was so smooth, and it was the most beautiful part was that early morning, this is in July, around 4 o'clock, we finally finished with all the documentation. And like, we are going on the road, the ambulance is with her, she's in the ambulance, and there are these two cars behind. That's about it. The roads are empty. There is no traffic signal. There is no traffic, nothing. And this slow motion where we are going to the crematorium. That day, in the day we were told by the hospital that there are only 2 electric furnaces working in entire Pune, and there's a waiting list for the electric furnaces.
Hmm.
So, incidentally, I had called a few friends and asked them to check out, and then whatever we got from there. So we went there. It was around 4:30. There was not a single person. There was no waiting, nothing. And we kept her there. And then my sister and they wanted to do all the small puja stuff, whatever they did for themselves. And then we touched her feet, and yeah, she was.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's here. And that's how it is. She is here. So,
She is
so
here. She's
amazing.
so much here.
Yeah.
She's
So
so
amazing, these stories. And you know what I really what I really noticed about your story, and again, because each time you were walking us through an incident or something, you kept saying, "Oh, this is so funny," and it's so funny. And
No, but Minal, you know something
understanding.
really funny? I want
Yeah.
to tell you something which is really funny. I'm sitting there, the body is, in the mall, and the documentation is happening.
Mm.
And I look at my dress,
Mm.
there is something written in pen all over it. And I'm just like, Mani, are you doing this? Is this guidance? I mean, and then Chris, and for the first time, I wore something very funny, bright yellow. Normally, I would not wear if I'm, going to a hospital or something. I'll not wear something really bright. That day, I just came home and I was wearing gray. I changed into a bright yellow. And I'm like, where did the pen come from? What has been writing on my dress? And there is this pen जिसका कैप निकल गया है जो मेरे बैग में स्टक होके वहां से बाहर निकल के मेरे पूरे ड्रेस पे there is this खिच 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 written all over. I said, okay, so money is taken over. So like, whatever is happening is on to money. So it was, and then after washing the dress, that thing has not gone. It doesn't go. It's
How
just not gone.
beautiful. How beautiful is all I can say. Because you know
I
what?
didn't even take guidance. It just flowed like that.
Yeah. And the only thing that I'm reminded of, when I listen to your story, so my mother-in-law, when she was at home and it was her last time, it was so amazing because I would go into her room and in the hospital, well, she was still in the hospital. I would go into the hospital room. She would only be calm. She would be peaceful and calm, and she'd be talking to me. I'd play some bhajans for her and she'd be listening. Sudhanshu would go into the room and she would start like, screaming and shouting, "When are you guys taking me home? I want to go home. I don't want to be here," this and that. And so I told Sudhanshu a number of times, I said, "Please work on yourself." And finally, he listened to me. And then he worked on himself. And then I said, "Okay, today when you go to the hospital, then take a look, because she, having become so much of energy, which is what was happening in your case. So, because when somebody becomes so much of energy, they are pure mirror to you. They are pure mirror to you. And so they don't exist. They are just going to be simply reflecting right back at you, your own energy. They are done with the world. So they are all energy and they become pure mirrors. And so you are peaceful. Outside will give you peaceful. She will give you peaceful. And so, Sudhanshu was all anxious and, really, really frustrated with the hospital and everything, or whatever was happening. And he had all of these expectations of how things should happen. And so therefore, as soon as he would walk in, there would be this like total panic in her voice and she would like break loose and all of that. And then I told him, I said, on the day he worked, I said, now today when you go, please observe how mom behaves with you. And then she was quiet. She was completely quiet and peaceful and calm. And it was just because now he was calm. He was now just peaceful inside. He had done the work within. And so outside, the mirror, that one has become just the mirror. And the only thing, it was so you talked about somebody not being able to come in time. Same issue, same thing happened even with us. However, mom, so there was this mom's niece who was very close to her, who was flying in all the way from the US. And mom was like, last minutes, go. And so one of the times, the nurses, and by this time she was home, and the nurses rushed out and said, she's going. So I wasn't home, but everybody else rushed inside. And then she was gone. The pulse was gone. Everything was gone. And Sucharita, she just had this thought, oh, when that niece comes in, she is going to be so disappointed, that she couldn't meet. She's going to be so unhappy. She couldn't meet for the last time. In that minute, the breath came back. The breath came back. She stayed. That person came. She was able to see mom with breath. And then, an hour or two later, that's when mom left. So everybody, whoever wanted to see, so there was not even a word uttered. It wasn't even like like you said to your mom, you can do that. No, the word is already happening. The word is being uttered in the energies, because this one was gone. And then Sucharita, just in her heart, her heart sang, saying, oh, this one is going to be so disappointed. She's so close to mom, and she's flying in all the way from the US. And in that moment, the breath came right back, because she heard that. She heard that, and she says, okay, somebody wants to meet me. I will meet everyone. She met everyone. And we didn't know when she was going. This was a blood cancer that was happening, but I was guided to bring her home. She had blood cancer. She was being in the hospital. Platelets were being replaced every 10 days. We brought her home because I said, no, I'm getting very strong guidance that she needs to come home, and we'll do whatever treatment. This is cancer, but I want her to be at home. And then I understood that her energy didn't want the fear energies of the hospital. She wanted to go, and she was taking my energies of joy, and the blood cancer reversed. The platelets stopped falling. We brought her home. We were constantly on the ready, saying, anytime the platelets fall, we've got this, we've got everything organized. We will do the blood transfusion there, and we'll bring the platelets home. And this is how we took all of those things to, okay, this is how we will organize. Never needed, because she came home. We said, okay, 5 days over, now let's check the count. The count was stable. We said, okay, 10 days over, now she must definitely need the platelet transfusion. And we looked at the count, and it had started to go up. However, it was time to leave. So something else took over. And that's how she was able to leave. But just to be able to, I see so many similarities, but just the fact that, you went and spoke to your mom, and I said, no, there is no need, because in the energies, they are so powerful. And when you become energy, so, when many of you come and you talk to me, and I'm constantly, I'm doing all kinds of natak, right? I mean, to some people, I'm so rude, I'm so mean. And then when people are, talking to others and saying, oh, she's so rude and mean, I said, no, I'm just a pure mirror. I live so much in the energy space. I'm almost like, what you would call like the body is almost left, and it's pure energy space. So most of my time being spent over there. I'm a pure mirror. And so you get to experience yourself through me. It's just that when you're so much in the energy, and that's what begins to happen when death is around the corner. But so beautiful, this story, Sonali. Thank you so much for sharing. And I was just about to say that
every moment I knew money was there. I just knew, it was not, there was a separation between even money and me. It was just money.
Yeah. I understand that, because that is why she was talking to you. That is why, because she knew that you're coming from that frequency. That is why. So I understand that part. Yeah, totally. Wonderful. How beautiful to hear this amazing story. And you know what, when we think of, again, I was just kind of like smiling, because even today, Komal has come, and Komal is somebody who's also been with me for a very, very long time, and a young girl who lost her husband in an accident today. She lost the husband today, 4 or 5 years ago. So she came, and she's sitting outside, and she was, she came to be here in my energies. And I asked her, I said, so how are you? She says, wonderful. And I said, okay, so what did you do? She says, I made idli sambar. I went to an orphanage. I distribute, I made all the idli sambar for the young kids out there. We fed. And then she says, I took a cake with me, and we celebrated. And I said, just how beautiful is this understanding? How beautiful is the understanding that death as a concept doesn't exist, because nobody has gone anywhere. So she came, she sat in this puja room and she was working on herself. And when I came, I just simply just came in right now to start my session. And as soon as I came, she touched my feet and she said, I just had a conversation with Kamal. Kamal was the husband. And she said, Kamal says, I'm here with money. I'm sitting here with money. I'm sitting at his feet, and you are sitting at Meenal's feet. And so there is no separation in the energies. We are both together, and we are just simply sitting in guidance and in masti. And so that was her message right now, and such a beautiful message for a young person who, for a young person who supposedly, in the worldly terms, lost her husband 4 or 5 years ago. But she understands from a place of no separation. She understands from the place of energy that there is nothing called death. So that person's job was done on this planet and they were able to move. And now, she is still with him and he's still with her every moment. And how beautiful is that understanding of the energies. All right. So wonderful to hear that story too. Thank you so much. And who wants to go next? Okay. You know what? I just knew it was going to be you, Malika. So let's hear from you. Yes, please.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you.
so amazing. Huh.
Aren't you amazing? You came into my life like one bloody angel. One angel, and since the moment I met you, you have changed everything for me. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, economically, financially, every damn thing has changed so amazingly. There are days when I think that this is what I need to ask me. Should I send her a message? And I think, nahi, abhi nahi, thodi der baad. And by then I get the answer, and it is so simple. I don't even have to message you.
So amazing.
Bless you. I love you so much. I
So
love
amazing.
you so much.
So beautiful. Yes, but and give us one story of America.
I will give you the story.
Yes. Huh.
So I met you. I met you when I was in the worst situation, and there has been a miracle every single day that I have got associated with you. The last 1 year had been difficult for me with Shri gone, and you were the only supporting star for me, like that, the North Star kind of thing. And every day I think this is so amazing, because when Deepa was in her 12th, she got scholarship to go to Australia and do her studies, complete scholarship. But that child was such a big hen, she wouldn't want to leave the house. And today she is so happy to go to Germany, and completely, I mean, at this stage, I wouldn't have been able to even afford sending her there, but complete scholarship. This is what else? I mean, grace, grace, grace every single day. Every single day. And Money, today in the morning, he told me that you're going to create a journal where every 2 hours the alarm rings. That is when you're going to look behind and identify what was the grace in that 2 hours that you experienced.
How
What
beautiful.
grace did you
Oh my
did you
God.
experience?
So beautiful.
And so next year, I'm going to have a book full of, not one book, perhaps in a day. How many times am I going to have the alarm ring, and how many times am I going to have my gratitude? And every gratitude starts and ends with you, me.
Oh my God. But
Yeah.
that is such an amazing tool. Oh, because I always tell people that look at whatever emotions you are in and what you need to release for that 2 hours. But to be looking at it in such a beautiful way to say, okay, look at the last 2 hours and only pinpoint the grace. I just love it so much. Oh, that is so beautiful. You maintain the journal. I'm going to also maintain the journal. I'm also going to do that. That is just so amazing a tool. Wow. Wow. That is fabulous. Yes.
So my miracle here is Deepa going to Germany willingly, happily, completely sponsored. I don't know how the flight tickets also we managed. Everything has been so effortless, so clear, so much with grace and ease, that it is amazing. And earlier, that girl who was such a hen, today she's bubbling with joy to go, and she's already made up her mind. Another 1.5 months and 1.5 years, and you're going to come. And
Oh,
I
what
I
fun.
was like, yeah, sure, sure. So
Yes,
it
of
has been.
course. What fun. What beautiful fun. Wow. So amazing. So
So
everything in
money sitting there, you sitting here, have taken care of us amazingly. I
uh,
love you.
I love you too. Thank you so much. This was such an amazing story. But also I want to remind, not for any other reasons or something, but I also want to tell everybody, when Malika came to me, and there was so much of resentment, that frequency within her, that so much outside in life was also simply reflecting that, including the family members and the actors that we call them. And then as soon as she was able to look at that resentment and to be able to release it, everything became so joyful. The journey
Absolutely.
within, and the journey outside with the actors as well. So many of you who come and still are, there is a problem here and there's a problem there and there's a problem here and there's a problem there. And I just simply keep telling you that no, just simply keep looking at yourself as a frequency and the other person as resonating at your frequency, and that's it. And you will be able to find joy. You will be able to find joy. And Malika is like a living example of somebody who came with so much of tick, 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 tick happening inside the head. But as soon as that head was dropped, that mind was dropped, that heart was tapped into, and there was joy and joy in the house as well. So
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah.
yeah.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
No, so beautiful, the story. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. So Rachna says, I'm starting with this grace, journal too. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I think that this is like the most amazing tool that Malika has just handed over to us, and saying that, I always tell people, right? And it's the part of the positivity process, except that I'm telling you, okay, take a look at all the emotions that you've been sitting in. Whatever have you done for the last 2 hours, and now release. And instead of that, now to whoever wishes to do this, to be able to look at look at 2 hours and to note down every single moment of grace. Oh my God, there are so many in a day, and we can just simply begin to note that down. And what an amazing journey, and what an amazing journal that is going to be. Wow, I'm so excited at having this journal. Thanks, Malika. Okay, Pranav wants to go next. So beautiful. Yes, Pranav, let's hear it from you. I can't hear you. Unmute.
Hello.
Yes,
Now you can hear
yes,
me?
yes, we can hear you
Hi.
perfectly.
So my start of the year was only with a big miracle for me, which was like I bought a car for myself. And like there was, if I would have told my mom that time before doing my energy work, then my mom was like, you can't spend like this. It's no point. You have to start saving while young and everything. But at no point she told me that, okay, no, you can't buy a car. This time, like she just, okay, go for it. And me and my brother bought it. So that was one of the miracle which happened. Just thereafter, we went for a trip. So it was a trip after so many years that we four were going, and I thought that that was the one of the biggest miracle that was going to happen. And in that journey, in that trip, there was so many emotions that just came up for me to be released. I thought that I have not worked at all on myself because there was so much of emotions which came up on that trip. So it took time. I just did my releases, and it made me feel lighter. But yeah, so making me feel lighter was also a miracle for me, because I could not, like, I could feel light, and I could just ask myself now, okay, I'm not feeling any more sadness for that, for whatever's happened. Then came my, so last year I quit my job. Okay, so I was doing job, I was also training children and everything. But I never studied anything for like fitness or anything for sports or anything. I just studied for nutrition. And uh, because I quit my job, then I had just went into this like, okay, now I'll do with my children thing, which I want to train them. With zero marketing or anything, I've just received so much of abundance of my children training with me. Like I cannot even imagine how can I get so many of my children for being trained. There was a point like online school started got shut and then offline started. So my morning time got this it got scrapped. So
Yeah.
then I got a school without approaching the school. The school calls me and says that I got a number from this person, and we want to tie up with you for the school teaching program. And that was such a big miracle for me. Like I just got it in an instant without doing like any hard work. It was just with so much of ease and grace that I received the school.
So
All
amazing.
this was going on, and then the biggest miracle which came to me was you telling me that I was being sponsored for the Australia trip, and that it I was feeling like I was on the sky at that time because I don't know, I would have never imagined I could have been to Australia. It didn't happen because everything happens in perfection. And there were many layers which came to be cleared. But
Yes.
one thing I just understood was that there was so much, I get so attached to the outcomes, and that I get so much of expectations from that. And then if it doesn't come through, I get more fearful and then disappointed for that. So that guidance which I received at that time, thereafter I have been joyful without anything happening outside. Like there have been so many instances, like even if I'm just sitting and if I'm taking my guidances, I just feel so grateful and so joyful that okay, now I don't need anything else to be more joyful. I can by myself just when I take down your guidances from the meditation and everything, I just feel like wow, I've received the answer for whatever I'm needed, and I can just be joyful without anything happening outside. So that was something which changed my life completely. Like I would have never expected like life can be so much of ease and grace. So
How
I can
beautiful.
I'm just blessed for you that I'm just received you as my angel and money the magician. Like life, it's like miracle has become a lifestyle is what I have started. There's no hard work needed, everything is a miracle. So thank you for this amazing tools and amazing journey that you've been blessed me with. Thank
So
you.
amazing, so amazing. And
Thank
I
you.
know that you are constantly working within, I know that you are constantly working within, irrespective of what happens outside. And again, Australia happened and it was there to show you that, okay, something can happen and something can also change from amongst all the people. Only your name came up for a sponsor. Can you imagine? So that, however, because you were dealing with attachments and you were dealing with so much of attachment to the outcome and also still lack, even though you got that, you were still in a little bit of lack as to it'll never happen to me again. So from that space, well, the trip didn't happen, but it was meant to bring to you it was meant to bring to you the joy in that moment, and then also to teach you what all you still have to release. You still have to release. And so from that, you did manifest for yourself a trip to Kedarnath with me.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is where I just understood that everything happens in perfection. That
Yes.
was a with being with Yashi, it was so much of understanding of knowing that everything is in perfection and there is nothing to be done. Like everything happens, whatever is happening, I just need to ask myself what am I feeling, and everything is going to be taken care of. And I'm just grateful for this one question I have to ask. For me, that is the biggest thing. If I can do, I can know that then the next stage is the next moment is a miracle for me.
So beautiful, so amazing, so amazing. Wow, thanks, Pranav. Thanks for sharing so many beautiful miracles in the past 1 year. And the journey of miracles continues. So beautiful. Okay, so now we move to Atul. Atul, you want to go next?
Hanji, yes.
Hanji. Let's hear
Uh,
it from you.
yes, it all started with Mega introducing me to you sometime this year in Jan.
Yes.
And when I started in Jan, that time in terms of office workload, etc., many things were down, and I had been detected with rheumatoid arthritis and some of thyroid. I did the exercises with you, then went up and down. Then in April, again, you allowed me to become there as a facilitator. And yesterday I called you saying that lots of things have started to improve, but I again need handholding. You did not take the call. And then the evening, I get your message from your account saying, please come and share. I
Yes.
was so thrilled. Then I was thinking what has happened. Yesterday, I'm doing a course on NLP. Somebody messaged in the group that if somebody wants to model calmness, CALM, calm, you should please
Yes.
model Atul. And I shared a photograph of mine with you of Jan or April. I was under so much of stress. And now people are saying that for calmness, you please model Atul. This was so amazing. It was, I did not have any words to explain that.
So
This is such a
amazing.
big journey. Yes.
Yes, so amazing, because in the morning, Atul shared a few pictures with me. And then it was like, yeah, let's take a look at those pictures. And I said, you're traveling right now. Otherwise, I would have actually told you कि जरा वो अपनी ऐसे सड़ी वाली pictures निकालो.
अरे नहीं,
Smile
मेरे को नहीं
करने की
देखनी.
कोशिश हो रही थी, smile करने की कोशिश हो रही है and smile नहीं हो पा रही है. And when somebody looks at your face right now, there is so much joy on the face. How beautiful.
I don't want to see the old pictures. नहीं देखनी, पुरानी picture नहीं देखनी.
Such a beautiful change, and
Yes.
क्या बात है कि calmness का पूरा झोला अतुल ने अपने पास बांध लिया. How amazing.
और जो मनी का नाम है ना, 1996 में somebody introduced me कि आप रेकी कर लो. मैंने करा, वो किसी ने बोला नहीं हुआ. फिर कोई मनी के नाम से थे, उन्होंने कहा मैं तेरे को कराऊंगा. तो उन्होंने मेरे को कराया था. stayed with him for 3 years. Then he went somewhere. फिर उसके बाद कोई और आए, उनके बेटे का नाम मनी था. And then he said,
ना छोड़ दे.
मतलब 1996 से. तो अभी लोग बोल रहे हैं कि हमारे साथ कब से. मैंने कहा मैं तो 1 साल से जानता हूँ. Then I recall, मैंने कहा 1 साल नहीं है. It's 1996.
So funny.
The name is with me.
Presence is with you. The presence guidance is with you. क्योंकि मणि जो है वो एक आदमी थोड़ी है, वो तो frequency. तो जो frequency of guidance है वो आपके साथ चली जा रही है. अब आपको लाके बढ़ा दिया.
Yes. अब मैंने कल दोबारा हाथ पकड़ लिया फिर से.
उसके अंदर जो कुछ भी तुम्हें मैं
आगे और जाना है.
आगे जो है ना, वो ये जो रास्ता है ना, वो आगे और पीछे का नहीं है, वो गोल गोल का है.
वो गोल
गोल का है. जैसे हम गोल गोल सीढ़ियां चढ़ते हैं ना, when we are climbing stairs, we keep coming back to the same place, like we are going up, but we'll come back to the same place, but we are not at the same place. We are actually all, हम हैं तो, लेकिन हमको लगता है अरे कोई काम नहीं किया हमने, we haven't done anything, and we think that, but it's just a frequency, and we will keep experiencing the same frequency. पर अब डरना नहीं है, तो वापस से वो frequency आ गई है. So that's it. क्योंकि आ गई है, उसके ऊपर वही काम करना है जो पहले किया था. And it is just a frequency, it will shift.
हाँ जी.
So, not saying कि अरे अब तो ये वापस से we are feeling like that, ये तो फिर से काम आ गया. I have not done anything. I think I also saw a question in the chat which says, I'm not able to let go of something, it's the same fear and it keeps haunting me. And if there's anything that you can do, you get to do the same thing, because it is the same fear. You think it is the same fear, but it is at another frequency. So simply do the same thing that you've been doing. Look at the fear, recognize that it is just a frequency. It will come 5 times, but it's okay. You can also release it 5 times. Don't get stuck. When people go through the same experience 5 times, they are thinking they can't go back to this place. But I'm also telling you that this place can also be visited 5 times. This place can also be visited 6 times. So don't stop there. Come back to the frequency of masti. काम कुछ और नहीं है. सारे tools, all the tools are there in so many of the webinars. Whatever webinar appeals to you. You've done the 30-day program as well.
Yes.
Whatever appeals to you, keep doing the assignments. But otherwise, if you've not done the 30-day program, it's okay. Everything.
I've done that.
I know you have, but I'm talking to the general audience. Anybody who has not even done the program, but it's okay. All the answers are very much there only. So anyways, all right. Thank you so much, Atul, for that lovely smile.
Thank you.
I really
Thank you.
enjoyed
Thank
looking at you, that smiley face instead of that old picture, that grumpy face.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Stay beautiful. Wonderful. Yeah, Mahima, we'll take you on next. Mahima, you want to go
One
next?
second.
Yes.
Yeah. 1 second.
Yes. What's up with you?
Hi.
Hello.
You
Tell us
know,
what's happening.
since January when I met you in Rishikesh,
Yes.
you asked me कि ऋषिकेश में क्या कर रही है? मैं actually वहाँ पे कुछ भी करने के लिए नहीं गई थी. I wanted to empty myself, and you know that. So I was doing nothing, and I had made up my mind कि अब मुझे कुछ नहीं करना है. जो आएगा वो आएगा, नहीं आएगा तो वो भी ठीक है. And second thing which I shared with you while we were sitting in that restaurant was the problem with my brother. And you gave me the guidance, and I came back and I said, okay, it's his journey. He's going to deal with it, and I'm holding the space for him as and when he needs me. But when I came back, Meenal, I don't know what happened. Literally, it's like a chakri got fit into my foot. ऐसी जिंदगी हो गई है, मतलब the projects which are coming to me back to back, I'm traveling back to back, and the project and the films also which have come to me are something which is not work. It's not work.
Yeah.
It's connecting with people. It's expanding my own self. Is understanding life with a totally different light. It's so joyful. It's so joyful.
Yes.
And it's I don't have words. I don't have words कि इतना अच्छा काम मेरे हाथ में आया कैसे. मैं पूछती भी नहीं हूँ अब. मैं पूछती भी नहीं हूँ because I do know that it's an energy at work. It's something which is working.
It's your frequency. You changed your frequency. You moved from lack to abundance. That's what we do. When you're tuned into the frequencies of abundance, then abundance will show up. So abundance of work has come, but it doesn't even look like work. It looks joyful.
No,
so
not
basically,
at all.
abundance of joy is showing up in your life. How amazing is that?
Yeah. And with regards to
So
my
beautiful.
brother, that was another miracle. So I had after Rishikesh, I went to the US, and he kept troubling me because he needed big sum of money. And I said, no, it's not possible. But by a strange fluke chance, I thought of something, and I said, talked to my sister, and I said, okay, this is what we're going to offer him. And I said, when I'm coming back, come to Delhi, let's sit down. I have something for you. So he came, we chatted, and we readily handed over my parents' house to him to take care of it, single-handedly. I said, put your life back in order.
But how beautiful is it that you say, oh, some thought, I don't know what was the word, some by chance thought came to you. Yeah, what stops you from calling it guidance?
Yes, guidance. Yes, sorry. It was guidance. Guidance.
And that random thought of that was going to bring you joy. No, because in that moment when that thought came and you thought you had a solution, even that would have brought you joy, I'm sure. Even
it did.
Yes.
It did.
So then
and the moment we gave it, of course, he had a few challenges to deal with and everything, but he's put the place on rent. He did up the house. He takes the money. He opened an account. And then he calls me, and I hear so much of confidence in his voice. It is magical. It is completely magical. And this is for the first time, I don't know in how many years, I hear joy in his voice. I don't know.
Amazing. But you understand that you had to let go.
Yeah.
You were the one holding.
Yes, I know.
All of this back. You were the one who was the actor, who was still holding a little bit of this back. And now that you have given into pure joy, even he has become an actor. I turn the whole story to you. Yeah. He has become an actor of joy for you. Otherwise, he was an actor for something else, not because he wanted to be an actor for something else, but you still held. Yeah. You still held anger and resentment. The minute you were able to see that as his journey, and the minute you were able to remove yourself from that and only focus on joy, everything is becoming a source of joy for you. It's all
I know.
about our
Totally.
own frequency. How
Totally, totally, totally. And I seriously want to take up the tool which Malika suggested, and I'm going to write a 2 hourly miracle of my life.
yes, how beautiful.
I'm going to write it. It's just been a miraculous journey, and I'm so, so, so grateful for it. So, so grateful. Thank you so much, Meenal. And I'm, and I apologize because I don't keep much in touch. But मेरे पास समय नहीं है, मेरी चक्री है मेरे पैर के नीचे,
कितनी
चक्री.
प्यारी बात है ना, कितनी प्यारी बात है. किसको रखना है तुमसे टच में? We are only interested in these miracle stories, and we are happy to hear from you every once in 6 months, 10 months, 12 months, just to be able to hear more of your miracle stories. How
All right,
beautiful is that?
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your
Thank you.
sharing. Maza.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chal re. Poonam, your turn next.
Hello, Meenal. How are you?
I'm always awesome. Tell me what's up with you.
Yeah, very good. I'm good. Even I am experiencing miracle in my life. So I did course last year, and like I was working in school. So this April, I was feeling lot of burden. So I thought कि मैं ये job ही छोड़ दूंगी, मुझे करना ही नहीं है. I just want to leave the job. मैं घर बैठ के ऐश करूंगी, मस्ती करूंगी. So in the April, this thought popped out. And in the May, money got an opportunity, a wonderful opportunity. I received a call from a very good, very reputed school. So, ऐसे ही अचानक ही आ गया. Like sometimes, like long ago back, I have dropped my resume there. But suddenly I received a call from that school कि you just come and give the interview.
Yeah.
So I thought ठीक है. I just usually allow and accept everything. So I had gone there. I had interview, given the demo and all, and I got selected.
Okay.
So I thought, good, very good. So money is giving me the opportunity. So I just grabbed the opportunity. So on the very first day, I moved to that school, and surprisingly, who was there? Money herself was there to welcome me. There's one teacher, very senior teacher in my section. Her name is Money. So, that was aha moment for me. Wow, Money herself is, she's there to welcome me. And she, she's very masti bhari, like, she's very joyful. उसको काम वाम की कोई चिंता नहीं है. वो सब काम उनका अपने आप होता चला जाता है.
क्या बात है. हाँ.
She's filled with joy. So I thought, wow, like daily I used to, every moment that money is coming out of my mouth. Every moment I'm feeling the presence of money. Like money is with me every time. And usually, like before going to our classes, we usually had a small prayer with the sister principal. So every time sister principal speaks about gratitude and surrender. Gratitude and surrender. So at that moment, at that moment, I feel like Meenal is speaking. Like you always teach that you should give gratitude for each moment, whether you are experiencing good or bad. Like we should give gratitude for the good experiences as well as for the bad experiences.
Yes,
so every time, So every day, the sister principal usually tells the stories about the gratitude and surrender. That was very
it keeps
very
you connected. It keeps you connected to your own gratitude and surrender.
Yes. And without any effort, I'm just receiving the appreciation from the school, from the school staff, from everywhere. Like usually I've heard ki, in the first year of joining, nobody's going to ask you कि तुम कौन हो, मतलब अभी you are just a new joinee, तुम्हें कौन पूछने वाला है, nobody's going to talk about you या कोई नहीं पूछने वाला. But नहीं, I'm just experiencing the opposite things. Without any effort, I'm getting a lot of opportunities in the school to show my talent, and I'm receiving the appreciation from each and every body. So that's really, really wonderful experience for me, and lot of gratitude and love to you.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. So I have two comments to make on it. Okay. So one is, वो जो पुराना स्कूल था और उसकी जो कुछ भी एनर्जी तुमने जो कलेक्ट की, स्कूल छोड़ दिया. ओके, दैट्स ओके, स्कूल छोड़ दिया. बट वो जो एनर्जी है ना, जो वहां पे तुमने एक्सपीरियंस की, बार बार जाके और वहां से उस एनर्जी को रिलीज करो. जाके उस एनर्जी को, क्योंकि वो स्कूल छोड़ दिया, वो एनर्जी नहीं छोड़ी तुमने अभी. Okay, you created some energies for yourself. That was your energy at that school, and this is your energy at this school. Both of them are your energies. However,
Yes.
when you quit the school or something, the school became an outside thing that wasn't suiting you, and you didn't want to work over there, and the finger is outside. So when the finger is outside, put it back within, saying, okay, what all did I experience from that school? And that's my energy, what all experiences I created for myself. So simply go now, do a deeper release, and go into those moments and release those energies from there also. So that's one part. And secondly, it's happening with ease and grace that you're getting so much appreciation. लेकिन रोजाना ये काम तुम्हारा है, मिरर में देख के अपने आप को याद दिलाना, I am awesome. ये काम हमारा है. बाहर
Yes.
से जो मिल रहा है ना, वो इसी का रिफ्लेक्शन है जो बाहर से मिल रहा है. सो लेट्स कीप द वर्क गोइंग. अपने आप को याद दिलाना है कि आई एम ऑसम.
Yes.
तो वहां
I'm
से
doing it.
एनर्जी क्लियर करो. हाँ, बहुत. इफ यू आर डूइंग इट, तभी ये सब कुछ आसपास बाहर दिख रहा है फिर तो.
Yes,
और
yes.
उसको भूलने का नहीं है.
And here I want to mention one thing.
Yes.
Like last year, Hina joined that school, and she told me about you.
Okay.
Yes, she
Okay.
was my friend there. And the moment I did this course, uske baad, like I left the school.
वो हिना
So
से
she,
मिलने के लिए रुकी हुई थी.
हाँ, yes. वो सिर्फ स्कूल में भी ज्वाइन किया कि बस मुझे बता दे और मुझे भी करवा दे ये, लाइक आपको आपसे कनेक्ट करवा दे.
How beautiful. Wonderful. Wonderful.
और कोहली ने मुझे करा दिया ये कोर्स.
क्या कर दिया?
पूनम कोहली ने मुझे करा दिया ये कोर्स.
Like she is my friend in the new school. She is Poonam Jain.
अच्छा अच्छा, ओके, पूनम जैन. अच्छा,
So
ओके,
I told her to do this.
ओके, ऑल राइट,
She's
वंडरफुल.
my friend from the new school, and Hina is my
Okay.
friend from the previous school.
Hello. This is how the family grows. This is how the
Yeah.
family grows. How
She's
beautiful.
also experiencing very nice,
Well,
she
if she wants to share, she'll raise her hand. If she
thank
wants.
you, and lots of love to you.
Thank you so much. So amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. Wonderful. All right. Next is Soumya. Let's hear it from Soumya. What's up, Soumya?
I'm so happy, me.
Oh, so cute.
uh,
So happy to see you happy.
mhm.
So tell us about some
So-
of the miracles. हाँ, पहली
Well-
बात तो कि शक्ल ऐसी नहीं होती थी. That is the first miracle. ऐसे पूरे टाइम हमेशा रोती रोती शक्ल होती थी. कितने
हाँ.
तुम ऐसे गंदे गंदी शक्लें ले लेके मेरे पास आते हो. So fun.
Yeah. So this is a big miracle that, अब मैं सुबह उठ के I tell myself in the mirror that I'm awesome. I'm able to smile at myself. I'm able to hug myself. And, ये I've realized कि हाँ, this is a constant process because still there are days when I don't feel like it. And, so एक वो अभी भी reminder है मेरे पास इसका. And miracles, I honestly can't count. I can't count जब से आपसे मिली हूँ उसके बाद life कैसे 180 degree turn लिया है. And one beautiful thing that happened, this morning only, like I've observed कि मैं stories में कई बार ज़्यादा involve हो जाती हूँ. So, but and whenever I have a bad dream about something, wrong happening, I generally check up at home. Mom, is everything okay and all? But last night I had a bad dream. I mean, I had a dream and I woke up. But you know what I just asked? I said, okay, Soumya, what was it? What was I feeling? I asked this myself, even in that dream, that what am I feeling? And I just released it. And, I was able to come to gratitude much more easily than I used to earlier. So ऐसा नहीं है कि emotions आ नहीं रहे हैं या stories play out नहीं हो रही हैं, but I just feel कि I am now able to quickly realize it. and वो जल्दी जल्दी I'm able to handle it. वो shift is becoming easier. But हाँ, and you know, when I look back at myself from even this from Soumya at the start of this year, I feel कि बहुत बहुत कुछ change हुआ है in me, and you know, अभी जैसे क्या बताऊं, क्या क्या बताऊं, आई हैव शिफ्टेड एंटायर कंट्री, और वो भी मणि ने इतना स्मूथली एंड इतना ब्यूटीफुली कराया ना. आई मीन आई ड्रीम्ड ऑफ बीइंग एट दिस प्लेस एंड आई एम हियर.
Oh,
एंड यू नो, आई डोंट नो क्या बताऊं मैं, बस आई मीन वर्ड्स कम है.
so beautiful, so amazing. So we'll just talk about, one of your miracles. So when, just to tell everybody, when Soumya first came to me, when everything, in every aspect of your life, you were always in two minds, right? It was always like, ye karu ki na karu. It was always doubt frequency and so much of doubt on the self. And so this Soumya that you see today, and she's got such a big bright smile, and she knows that doubt is just a frequency, and she can release and she can sit back to sit in awesomeness. She can just simply release all of that and sit back in her awesomeness. It is so good to see you with that smile, Soumya. I mean, small, and I know that you moved from Delhi to London, and then so there must have been many miracles of things happening with ease and grace. But here you are, and you are so totally in a place of joy. So I'm so happy to see you.
Yeah.
बहुत मजेदार.
हाँ, तो कभी कभी वो क्राइम सौम्या वापस बीच में आती है.
Of course.
But then I it's all about putting your attention. Then I put my attention on all that I have to be grateful about, and then I find that there's actually so much to be grateful about,
which was always there even earlier, but you just couldn't put your focus over there. So now you've truly started to sit more and more on this joyful frequency. Fabulous. Fabulous. So wonderful.
Thank you so much, me.
Wonderful. I would have really liked it अगर एक दो instances बताए होते, पर कोई बात नहीं. Too many instances, then okay, fine then. Like.
Okay.
हाँ, बोलो. अच्छा चलो छोड़ो, याद करके वापस से circle back with us. All right, Megha, let's move to you. What's up?
Thank you, Ma. Yeah, so my miracle started even before seeing Ma as such one-on-one on Zoom. I was first given her frequency meditation before the course started by my friend Ruchi. And the first time I did the meditation, I was in a bliss that I cannot express at all. मुझे इतनी खुशी कभी भी नहीं हुई लाइफ में, कभी भी. और मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा था, मुझे I had felt कि अच्छा meditation दी है, कर रही हूँ. I did it very कि ठीक है कर लेंगे, क्या जल्दी है. करी, और जब जैसे ही करी, the bliss, I was singing in the bathroom, I was singing all day, I was in a La La Land, which is, I mean, I could not even believe कि ये कैसा, because I had been meditating before that for years, and I had never felt this bliss. I had felt, states of calmness, peace, yeah, and even like stillness, definitely. But the feeling of true bliss and anand, I had never felt, and that was like, okay, great, like this feels awesome. And then I did the course, and the first sentence that Ma told me, the first sentence changed my life. I didn't realize at that time. So I started, like I used to start every time I would meet someone, I would introduce myself, and I was like, Ma, hi Meenal, I am, so, and Ma's like, doesn't matter. I am Shiva, you are Shiva too. So let's begin. And I'm like, that sentence has from then kind of become a part of me, and I didn't realize at that time. But later, as I progressed in life, it started becoming my reality in, bits and pieces, that I started, the kind of love I felt for myself, I have not felt that love for myself ever in my life now the way I look at myself as a being who is loved and who deserves her own love. I have never felt so love worthy before in my life, and all thanks to you, Ma. And just the biggest miracle for me is you. It is just your coming into my life, which is I'm sure everyone feels like that. So and then the series of miracles continued. There is not one, but I can illustrate many. I'll state two of them. One is related to the Australia trip, which
Yes.
we had planned a trip, and my visa was like not coming, releases happening, and in between my mom fell. She broke her leg bone, she was operated, and everything happened in perfection, including the visa that came at the time when my family members were really ready and mentally free to be able to think of even believing that I can go outside the country when my mom is bedridden. So and of course, through this journey, more than the outcome that happened, I think the presence and the energy of Ma, which has constantly driven me towards knowing that all is fine, everything is fine, everything is good, everything is a blessing. I think that knowing that exists in her presence has become a constant for me. Like, I know she is there, like I just know her frequency is there to hold me, and it is there with me always. I feel you all the time. There's not even a single moment when I don't feel her around me. And the second miracle, of course, is that through the course of the last year, there have been so many medical challenges in my own body and in my entire household. My mom went through 2 operations. I was diagnosed with a chronic kidney disease, and also went through 2 operations recently, where my two of my organs were taken out. And I was going to the hospital like it's a picnic, like I would go there, I would take Ma's name, I would call Om Mani, Om Meenal, call upon her energies, and it would become a cakewalk for me. The whole procedure, the whole in fact a blessing. Like, it would take me to a place where I could feel that fearlessness about even death. And so just want to thank you, Ma, for coming into our lives and giving this beautiful family. This is another beautiful gift, because I can feel like they are there for me. I mean, at any point in time, I can just reach out to anyone on this group and just talk my heart out, do some chit chat, and so much fun we have together. So thank you so much, Ma. Thank you.
So much fun. So cute. Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, when we talk about hospitals and visits to hospitals and the frequency that is in the hospitals, when we are unaware, we simply go to hospitals and, the frequency is most prevalent in the hospital would be fear and anxiety. And we are unaware. And so we go and we tune into fears and anxieties. But when we are aware and we're able to hold ourselves to our choiceful masti frequency, then any trip seems like a picnic, and it's just so beautiful. I also have something to share about my hospital trip. It was just a trip for a checkup, but I haven't been for a checkup for the last, I don't know, for the last 8 years or something. Those annual checkups that used to happen ever since my journey began. Mani pretty much said, okay, you don't need to go to the hospitals. So I stopped going. And this time he pushed me on, okay, no, you have to go for a medical checkup. And I was like, but why? You only told me not to go. So, and I'm asking why, but no, the guidance is there. Now you have to go for the hospital. So I go to the hospital, and then even before going, I know that I have resistance now. I have built resistance towards going to the hospital. So I sit and look at it. Okay, what all makes resistance? So I have the funniest of reasons, this is what I call miracles. When I see resistance anywhere, I call it the biggest miracle, because I'm able to see something. Now I will be able to work on it. So for me, when I really look at miracles or something, I say, oh my God, I was able to see that I've built up resistance over here, जो मुझे दिखी नहीं थी. And so this is the miracle that I can see the resistance here, I can see the resistance there. And now that I'm seeing it, it won't be there because now I can work on it. So it was so fun because just before going to the hospital, I sat down and said, okay, what part of this is creating resistance in me? The most hilarious reasons. One was if I go and meet with a doctor and if he's going to give me a medicine pill, over the last 2 or 3 years, some such thing has happened to me that I cannot swallow big pills. They get stuck over here. And so I don't want to go to a doctor because he will give me big pills. Matlab, ye bhi koi tarika hai, like this is like a 4-year-old talking. But then, I am a 4-year-old. I take full credit at being 4-year-old. So I can't take big pills, and that is creating resistance in me. The other one, the medical test says you have to have a stool test. It's a normal urine and stool test. I don't want a stool test. Why don't you want a stool test? And what is there with the stool test? The whole world goes and does a stool test. No, I don't want a stool test. And so I looked into it and I said, okay, why is it? And I have a feeling of sympathy for those people who have to work in smelly places. Stool test can't be like all roses and everything. So they are there the whole day, they are working in those smelly places. And I actually felt pity for them. So clearly I was in the story and I got stuck in the story that no, these people, they deserve better. They don't need to be in a smelly environment. So I had to work on myself to say, it's just a moment of smell. And the moment of smell will give you an experience. And then after that, the experience is done. For somebody who's, for whatever, if I smell something bad, but that bad smell remains with me for 5 years, I actually totally lose that it's a bad smell. I just become used to it. But in my head, the bad smell is worthy of pity. And so I was looking at that. So I knew that it must be coming from some old life where I must have been in a really smelly job. And so I released that pity, saying, no, every Shiva is choosing. And if in one form that Shiva is choosing to be in this kind of an environment, I honor that Shiva. So I was totally ready for the stool test the next day. But it's so beautiful because the work was not on the stool test. The work was on me being able to look at that part of me in the energies. I am not someone, this was hilarious. I'm not somebody who stays constipated at all. But for 2 days, for the entire window of my test, I was constipated. So Mani didn't let the stool come out only. There was not meant to be a stool test. However, I had to sit and clear my energies regarding it. So I did. Anyways, moving forward, the third reason that I don't like to go to hospitals is they will put a lot of gel on you. For all of these sonograms and all of that, they put so much of cold gel, and the hospital is already at minus 40 degrees or some such thing. So I feel very cold. So these are the kind of reasons for which I am not having medical tests done. Okay, like somebody would think I'm fearful of test results or something. No such fear at all. I'm just laughing. So people are saying, oh, tumhara liver kharab hai, no alcohol. I'm like, no. Agar Maniji doesn't want to give me alcohol, then he will not send me alcohol. And no mithai, the doctor says. And I'm like, okay, Mani knows, then he shouldn't be sending me mithai. Ghar aayi hu, 3 kilo mithai. People have got for me. So obviously it's an indication that I have to keep eating mithai. And so, the reports are what they are. However, it's not fear of reports. It's not fear of what's happening in my body, but it was fear of the cold gel being applied on me, that I don't want cold gel. It is so bad and all of that. So then I brought myself to gratitude because I said, thank you. As I was leaving for the hospital, I said, okay, instead of going over there saying, oh God, bloody test. Instead of doing that, I said, so beautiful that I have this opportunity that I can go for a test today. All of these nurses and doctors are going to be employed to bring me, all of these latest medical facilities. This has all been created for me so that I can get to know what is happening in my body and make my life simpler. So thank you for all the facilities. Thank you for all the, so this was my story of gratitude that, thank you for being able to afford a hospital. So I'm so thankful to be able to afford a good hospital, the best in Mumbai and all of that stuff. So I changed my story to gratitude. I go over there, and now it's time for that cold gel to be applied. I'm lying over there. It's a sonogram, something that is happening over there, and the doctor is going to come. So quickly again, I go into my thankfulness, and now I'm lying down. The doctor comes, and she's asking me questions and everything, and she puts in the first blob of gel. The gel is warm. Okay. So I'm like, what the hell just happened? So I'm not saying anything, but I said, maybe it was kept close to a, it sometimes kept close to a phone or a computer or something, and it's gotten warm. So I'm like, ye kya ho raha hai? The gel is warm. Okay. So then I wait. That woman picks up another blob after 5 minutes and puts that. If the gel is warm, it's just amazing. It's really amazing. So I'm like, acha chalo, ye to ho gaya, abhi dekhen. And then the next blob comes totally warm. So now I can't hold my curiosity. I said, why is the gel warm? It's supposed to be cold. No. Why is the gel warm? She says, no, yeah, it's cold, but the hospital has 2 new machines which has a gel warmer, and you are on one of those machines. So the entire hospital, 2 new machines, and I'm on one of those machines. I was like, thank you. This is such a miracle. I really needed this miracle today. So miracles happen every single day. However, just to be able to see that, it doesn't have to be a big miracle. Every miracle is just so amazing, because every moment is filled with miracles and miracles. So that's how it is. So just to even let you know that, the hospitals, I totally get it that the hospitals were joyful because the frequency was of joy. And then outside also, the numbers and all, we understand that there are things with the body. And the body is completely capable of healing itself, to always be in that knowing that it is okay for the body to lose this and for the body to lose that. The body is completely capable of taking care of itself, even without organs. So that's how it is. Wonderful. So beautiful. Megha, you want to share some more? Any other sharings?
No, Ma, that's all. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank you so much. Wonderful sharings. Beautiful. Maza aaya sun ke. And of course, I could add, because itne dinon ke baad I went to a hospital. So much fun. So, okay. So Poonam, we look at you next. What's up with you, Poonam? Kya chal raha hai?
Hello, Meena.
Hi.
How are
How
you?
are you? I'm always
I'm good.
awesome. Tum batao
I'm
kya haal
always,
hai tumhare?
I'm also awesome now.
Fabulous,
Yes.
fabulous.
I
Yes.
used to
Tell us.
pat myself and say I'm awesome, I'm perfect,
Yes.
everything. Just
Yes.
now, Poonam Kohli told you the story, the whole story about herself.
Yes.
And when she joined the school, new school, I met her, and
Hmm.
I was worried on small things in the school. And my sister used to pinpoint me at every time. So she used to say me, why are you worried, Poonam? Menka, I'm not feeling good at school. Kehti, why? What happened? Menka, she used to pinpoint it at the every moment. So she used to say, release it, release it. Menka, कैसे करते हैं release?
Huh.
तो कहती ठीक है, I will tell you. So
Huh.
I rang her in the evening. तो कहती है, okay, I will tell you how to release it. And she sent me your Mina's frequency video. I think she sent me that link. तो मैं कहा
Yes.
मुझे भी समझ में नहीं आया what is this, how to release it. Then
Yeah.
she told me कि you join the course next after I think 15 days the new course will be started and you talk to Pooja. Then I talked to Pooja and I got full sponsorship within 5 minutes. कहती
Yeah.
it is in your frequency that you have to do this course.
Correct.
Then I did it. Then after that I do the releases. Then that sister did not point me.
There.
She did, हाँ,
काम खत्म हो गया उसका.
काम खत्म हो गया. And when I did my PLR course,
हाँ.
Kanika was my guide. At
हाँ.
that time, I went to the deep sleep. Went to
हाँ.
deep sleep. She
हाँ.
used to pinpoint me, कहती आप जवाब ही नहीं दे रहे थे. मैं कहा पता नहीं, I was मतलब unconscious.
हाँ.
बिल्कुल unconscious हो गई. When I
हाँ.
woke up, she wrote me a message कि when you woke up, afterward then you call me.
हाँ.
Then when I went up, मैं कहा what happened? ये तो मेरा PR सेशन चल रहा था, मेरे कान में मेरे वो लगे हुए हैं, but I was not. At
हाँ.
that time, when I was in dreams, I saw you at my neighborhood.
Okay.
And there was a one toy room in which I saw you. And so I was so happy in my dreams. Now Meenal is with me only. In my neighborhood, when I will go to upstairs and at my roof, I can see Meenal, and it was a glass room.
Oh, so
It
cute.
was a glass room. It was a miracle which I saw. And daily it was, I'm improving myself. I'm daily doing the your Meenal frequency video. I'm daily listening, meditation also I'm doing, and I'm giving myself, I am awesome, I am perfect, I am Meenal, I am taking the energy of Meenal. But at me, I go for the little materialistic thing, but I am all releasing. Poonam Kohli used to guide me each and every time in the school. I used to knock her, what to do? आज ये वाला feeling आ रहा है, तो वो हमेशा बोलती है, release it, ma'am, release it, release it.
बस
तो
और कुछ नहीं करना है. एंड मटेरियलिस्टिक में क्या, मटेरियलिस्टिक इज फाइन, लेकिन मटेरियलिस्टिक के पीछे भागना इज लैक फ्रीक्वेंसी. सारी जो हमारी मटेरियलिस्टिक चीजें जो रास्ते में हमको मिल रही हैं, उनके लिए तो ओनली थैंकफुलनेस एंड थैंकफुलनेस ना. तो ऐसा थोड़ी है कि मटेरियलिस्टिक छोड़ के और हमको कमंडल लेके और कि चला जाना है. वी हैव टू एंजॉय एवरीथिंग. So as much as I have understood, we don't have to run away from materialistic, and we don't have to run towards materialistic. We have to sit and simply enjoy whatever is there. आज जो है उसको enjoy करो, ना तो उसके पीछे भागो और ना उससे अलग भागो. हमको जहां पे हम आज बैठे हैं, बस that is the place of enjoyment. तो जितना है उसको enjoy करो, और जो नहीं है तो if you're going to run after it, the frequency is lack. Yes. So then you will be in lack frequency. तो उसको release कर दो बोलते हैं, but otherwise lack frequency है, उसी में से फिर और गोल गोल और उसी में थोड़ा घूम रहे हैं.
I am releasing my lack frequency.
बस तुम फ्रीक्वेंसी को रिलीज करना है और जो है उसको एंजॉय कर लो. अगर आ गया कि अरे ये वो घर ऐसा होना चाहिए, गाड़ी ऐसी होनी चाहिए, तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो घर चाहिए या गाड़ी चाहिए. इसका मतलब सिर्फ ये है कि फ्रीक्वेंसी थोड़ी सी डामाडोल हो गई है. तो फ्रीक्वेंसी की तरफ देख जाओ और उसको वापस से मस्ती की तरफ ले आओ. जो जैसा घर है उसके अंदर आज ही मस्ती आ जाएगी. दैट इज हाउ इट इज.
Thank you so much. And yesterday Mahendra uncle gave me my that message, because that day I was a fraud participant. He was saying कि आज तो आपको नहीं मिलेगा, कल मिलेगा. तो yesterday I asked him, तो he gave me the message कि मनी जी तो हमेशा तुम्हारे साथ रहेंगे, चिंता मत कर पूनम जैन. मैंने कहा wow, very nice.
How beautiful is that? How
very nice.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This year I learned a lot. 2022 is now passing by, and I have changed my frequency. Thank you so much, Meenal and Maniji.
So cute.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
we have Soumya. Soumya, you want to share again? Did you just put up your hand again?
हाँ जी मैं आप I went back and मैंने कुछ miracle stories.
Okay, so let's hear from you now.
Yes. So one of the big miracles that happened with me in this year was कि बहुत ease and grace मुझे दिखाई जा रही थी from everywhere. जैसे जब मेरा वीजा का प्रोसेस हो रहा था, so there were so many things, मेडिकल करना होता है, बैंक अकाउंट में पैसे वो रखने होते हैं इस टाइम के लिए, एंड पूरा वीजा का प्रोसेस एवरीथिंग. सो ऑल आई कुड सी कि जैसे बच्चों को वीजा के अपॉइंटमेंट नहीं मिल रहे थे. सो व्हाट हैपेंड कि मेरा जैसे आई मीन यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ लीड्स, और इससे पहले मेरा एक दूसरी यूनिवर्सिटी का एक्सेप्टेंस आ गया था. सो जस्ट फॉर उस यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए मैंने अपना पूरा प्रोसेस कर रही थी. तो मैंने आई स्टार्टेड way before than it was meant to, I was actually supposed to be doing. तो जब एक्चुअली मुझे वीजा अप्लाई करना था, जब लोगों को अपॉइंटमेंट्स नहीं मिल रहे थे, आई हैड माई मेडिकल रिपोर्ट इन माई हैंड, आई हैड ऑल द मनी इन अकाउंट इन प्लेस, एंड जब मैं सोच रही थी कि आई हैव टू गो फॉर लोन और एवरीथिंग, it money showed up because my parents were really supportive in this. They said कि no, you don't need to go for a student loan. We have exactly the amount of fees मेरी जितनी थी. They were like कि we have this much money to give you. And ऐसा लग रहा था just everything was falling in place. This also happened with like जब यहाँ आना था, तो my mom and sister, they also came along with me for a couple of days. We went around London. तो उनका वीजा आया ही नहीं था until 1 week 10 days before we were supposed to be here. So constantly my sister, she was getting a little worried कि अभी तक visa नहीं आया है, 10 दिन बचे हैं, visa नहीं आया. And I just had this in me कि अगर जाना है तो visa तो आ जाएगा. And I was just being in this faith कि जाना है तो visa तो आ जाएगा, वो मणि देख लेंगे. तो this was one story actually that was really miraculous. तो उनका नॉर्मल में स्टैंडर्ड में अप्लाई किया था उन्होंने, एंड मेरा बहुत जल्दी आ गया विद इन लाइक 3 weeks, और उनका 2 महीने हो गए थे अप्रोक्सीमेटली नहीं आया. 10 days before we were supposed to be here on 7th of September, so 10 days before she was planning कि I'll cancel it and I'll reapply for a priority one. She went online, check करा, priority dates नहीं थे available, it was showing all booked. Then she was like कि अब क्या करें, दिल्ली में नहीं दिखा रहा था, तो she planned कि चलो I'll go to Chennai and वहां से करा लूंगी, जयपुर और whatever. तो I was like, अंदर से मुझे ऐसे आ रहा था कि नहीं, ये इसमें ease नहीं है, मतलब ये whatever she's thinking of a solution, there's no ease in this. तो I was constantly telling her नहीं, रुक जा, अभी मत कर कुछ, अभी कुछ मत कर. Then there was another option of super priority that she was not wanting to take because that is much more expensive. But I went ahead and I told my mom and dad, mom, एक ये super priority भी है, इसमें दिल्ली से मिल सकता है, but इतने पैसे हैं. तो we all slept on it for some time. My parents also stopped her that don't go, अभी रुक जा, you don't need to rush for it. And still I was feeling कि नहीं, होना तो प्रायोरिटी में ही है, सुपर प्रायोरिटी में नहीं होना है. मुझे अंदर से इतनी स्ट्रॉन्ग फीलिंग आ रही थी, होना प्रायोरिटी में है, बट जयपुर भी जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. तो आई जस्ट सेड तू 2 दिन रुक. एंड शी वेटेड फॉर 2 days. 2 दिन बाद, एंड शी वाज कॉन्स्टेंटली चेकिंग ऑनलाइन. 2 दिन बाद शी चेक्ड ऑनलाइन, देयर वाज अ प्रायोरिटी वीजा अपॉइंटमेंट 1-2 दिन में ही, दिल्ली में ही. I was like, and she was like, oh my God, Samya, oh my God, bring my laptop, bring me this, bring me that. So I just got her laptop, सब card, visa, वो अपना debit card सब कुछ लाके book कर लिया. And आने से within a week, visa was there. So I mean, constantly I was feeling कि बाहर कुछ भी हो रहा था, तो I was able to feel that कि नहीं, अगर कुछ होना है ना तो वो हो जाएगा. And I think I also gained a little more trust in my own guidance, क्योंकि मुझे अंदर से जो चीज आती थी गाइडेंस में, आई फेल्ट कि हाँ, उसमें वो चीज वो गाइडेंस बहुत ईज की तरफ लेके जा रही थी.
Yes.
So
amazing. So
yeah,
beautiful.
all of this.
So crazy. And this is the most beautiful part when we, that not only just are you able to listen to your guidance, you're able to recognize the guidance, but that state that you're talking about कि नहीं, अगर होना होगा तो हो जाएगा, that state is what we call equanimity. So you are able to station yourself in equanimity, and equanimity always changes outcomes. So because you were in equanimity, and so the outside outcomes were constantly showing up to bring you more joy. That's how it is. So amazing, so beautiful. मजा आया.
आजकल इसी पे ही ऑल्दो मेरा दोबारा काम है, बिकॉज आई एम सीइंग, मैं थोड़ा इधर उधर डोले लगते हो.
फ्रीक्वेंसीज हैं, तो कोई टेंशन नहीं है. वापस से अगर किसी और फ्रीक्वेंसी में बैठी हो तो दिख गया ना तुम्हें. You can see it's not like you're going totally blind into something. With awareness, we lose those blind spots. It'll happen, but then immediately we are also able to see how to work on ourselves. Immediately we can see, immediately when I say maybe in a day, maybe in 4 days, that's also immediately. Instead of years and years of not knowing what to do, now we know that the work is within. So we can see. So gratitude for that.
Anji.
Wonderful. Fabulous. Maza. So much maza. Okay, let's move. Who else wants to speak? Vinita wants to speak. Yes, Vinita, let's hear from you.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. What's up?
So you know all my miracles, and thank you so much for adopting the bhesa and the pool and the santra as your own kids.
I know all the miracles. This is not what the program is all about. This program is about sharing your miracles. So you have
I'm just sharing the silliest. Yes, I am. I'm getting there.
Yes.
The silliest of stories, which I shared with you, is like grace is there, ease is there, gratitude is there. Every day, every moment is a miracle.
Yes.
But the funniest is कि इतना दिमाग खराब हो गया है staying with this cutie Mahavev mama that when I went to the doctor for an impending surgery and I went for the consultation, कि मुझे पता है कि सर्जरी होनी है, that's why I went to the specialist. My total attention was on her nail paint. कि उसका क्या नेल पेंट कॉम्बिनेशन है, मैं पहले वो नोट कर लूं. And then घर आके
But
भी the
important
first
बात है. Important
important
बात है.
yes
Important
the
बात है.
first call of action was कि next day पहले मुझे मैनिक्योर करा के exact combination कराना है जो डॉक्टर का था. सर्जरी वर्जरी तो बाद में होती रहेगी. तो ये हाल हो गया है आपकी बस्ती में रह के.
कितनी ही
That's
प्यारी
what I
बात है.
wanted to share.
Yes, that is just so funny because I totally understand कि मतलब बाकी बातें जो ठीक है जैसी हैं वैसी हैं उसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम है, but here it is that we have to be constantly in the frequency of what will bring us to masti. So you were able to.
Yes.
फिर nail paint पसंद आया कि नहीं तुम्हें?
Of course, yeah.
हाँ, फिर
But
सर्जरी
it was the
अच्छी हुई कि
funniest,
नहीं?
like I couldn't.
फिर सर्जरी
like
अच्छी हुई कि नहीं?
सर्जरी तो बहुत बढ़िया हुई.
बस फिर.
And the other funniest was I'm driving to the hospital because Vipin was on call, so I drove. And all these signs, because there were some elections going on. I've never seen, I mean, money, yeah, it comes in, so many different ways, and butterflies, which I already saw. But the whole sidewalk is Madhukar Prasad, Madhukar Prasad, Madhukar Prasad. And I'm telling Vipin, take a picture. He said, किस चीज की फोटो खींचनी है? अब तुझे गाड़ी चला. I was like, okay, never mind. I'll take it some other day. And then the other day I went, there was one sign left
Madhukar
because I
Prasad.
guess they forgot to take it out. But I was like, ये क्या नाम होता है? Like the lady's name was Madhukar Prasad.
Oh wow.
So I think I sent you this photo of that billboard.
I didn't know. Yes, you sent me a photo, but I didn't know it was a lady whose name was
Yeah.
Madhukar Prasad.
Her name was Madhukar Prasad. So I was like, okay. So हम प्रसाद लेने जा रहे हैं hospital, Madhukar Prasad.
Sounds like a good
It's
deal.
so amazing how, the connection and the presence and
Presence.
the
At all times,
guidance
so much
and
presence. Yes.
grace and ease just flows with you each moment, each moment.
Yes,
So
wonderful.
much love to you. Mwah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody. Yes, Iti says Happy New Year from Australia. Thank you, Iti, and a very, very Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you so much. And everybody else, whoever is in Australia and watching, Happy New Year to all of you. Okay, let's take up Darshan. Yes, Darshan, what's up with you? You'd like to share? Unmute.
Yeah. So for me, it was like a big miracle when I did the course last batch, and I've been doing the parenting workshop. But somewhere, something which I'm passionate, a lot of frustration coming in, and not being satisfied with it and all that. And somehow the numbers were not happening because my school started and I focused there. And suddenly, just the batch got over, and this parenting ka new batch took up. I would just say miracle that out of last 2 years lockdown, this is my numbers which are very big. What did I do different? Nothing, but it was more of equanimous I was into. Okay, and that's where effortlessly the batch happened, which was very beautiful. And we were having a Christmas sleepover on 24th of in the 23rd Friday, and it was my coordinators were new, place was new. And I remember that, okay, I have to play the meditation which I introduced to my two group of kids. And I remember a lot of chaos happening, and suddenly I just played that meditation which went on in the background throughout, and everything was so settled. And normally whenever we do sleepover for children, they are very young kids, 3 years and above. So there are about 55 kids. And it went so smoothly, not a single child cried for mama, or normally हम लोग को सुलाना पड़ता है as a mother and all that, and mothers or parents are also little panic and all that. So overall it went so smoothly. The church visit we took them, which was in the bright evening, so they got to see everything. We had a father's blessing happening that day. Matlab, normally in my 15 years only once it has happened, so that day father's blessing happened. he gave chocolate to children, were super excited, and it went so smooth overall that it was like I felt that energy, honey being there, and overall it went very, very smooth.
How
So
beautiful.
it was like beautiful.
I would just like to, point out to you over there. You said, what did I do different? Nothing. Well, I would say that you did everything different because you changed your energy, and that's
Yes.
where everything is different. So you can't, then when you say, oh, I did nothing different, then the expectation is that only from the body you can do differently. But the body is 1% and your energy is 99, and you changed 99, and your mind is comprehending it as, oh, I did nothing differently. And I would say from the energy space, you did everything differently. You did everything from a space of joy. And so more joy was brought to you with such a beautiful, successful program.
Yeah, and the biggest joy happened when I got to meet you. So it was my wife's birthday. Still, I was able to manage
Thank you so much for coming that day. Thank you.
and then I'll be using that for my kids. That process of your helium balloon, which kids will really enjoy
They
that.
will love it totally. Totally
Yeah,
love it.
and lot of awareness came in when you said that I'm pure energy. It reverberated. In that whole conversation, you just gave me one message: work on yourself. You're coming from head. So I said, okay. So my work has to happen, and I took it positively that I will work. And yes, I'm excited to give this program to kids, but I take it that I had to get that reflection that day because that's why I came in. I would say for the joy and some message that I was.
Yes, because the message that you experienced with the menal frequency, and then you allowed that frequency to seep in, and then it brought you more joy. And the more you allow for that frequency to seep in, it'll keep bringing you more joy. लेकिन काम तो खुद पे है, बच्चों पे कोई काम नहीं है. तो इसलिए, and then that means that every time that you sit with it, you have to be a non-doer. You have to be a non-doer, and you have to allow the frequency of joy to take over. Otherwise, your frequency is of, wanting to control, wanting responsibility and all of that. So, वो वाली frequencies के अंदर joy नहीं है. So more and more to be in joy. How beautiful.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. Okay, Dipali has raised her hand. So we take on Dipali, and that's going to be the last thing of the evening, because we've already gone way over for usual hour and a half. So chal rahe Dipali, what's up with you?
Thank you, Ma. Love you so much. Thank you for giving me this frequency. I mean, it's totally amazing. मतलब मुझे दुर्गा भी experience करवा लिया, miracles भी इतने सारे experience करवा लिए to help me in coming to equanimity so beautifully, and the surrender level, I tell you. So yeah, I've been experiencing miracle every day, but the most beautiful miracle what I experienced in Australia of healing, getting healed by you, was most beautiful. Thank you so very much. And even after that, when I came here and got operated, in this operation theater also, I was feeling miracle. Matlab, I was feeling that I'm in some space area, and the doctors are simply money going to operate me, and everything was like, the doctors were so surprised that 20 days आपने ऐसे ही इसको हाथ को रखा, and still the bone marrow has not got jammed, nor you have got any septic, nothing has been done, happened to your hand. First when I met them, they were like, the operation will run for at least 3 to 4 hours, but it was like over within not even it was maximum 1.5 hours, it got over. And everybody was telling me कि अरे कैसे 20 दिन आपने ऐसे, मतलब 6 inches dislocated, और ऐसे हाथ में मैंने क्या कुछ नहीं किया, मतलब everything that I wanted to do in Australia, I did that. And shopping also I did so beautifully, मतलब इतना everything, मतलब ऐसे आके मेरे सामने, मतलब everything that I wanted since so many years was literally coming in front of me with such good prices and such good quality. I was totally thrilled. But yeah, even now, like the physiotherapy started, so I was like कि मेरा mediclaim clear नहीं हो रहा है, तो आई वॉज कॉन्स्टेंटली वर्किंग ऑन दैट, मतलब मेडिक्लेम क्लियर नहीं हो रहा है तो लैक में बैठ गई थी, फिर सोचती थी नहीं मनी है, ही इज टेकिंग केयर ऑफ मी एंड एवरीथिंग इज गोइंग टू बी परफेक्टली फाइन, डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट। तो सो ब्यूटीफुल, मतलब वो अटका हुआ इसके लिए था बिकॉज आई हैड टू गो फॉर फिजियोथेरेपी। तो this guy who's doing the mediclaim thing, तो the doctor told me that you can think of जब तक आपका mediclaim नहीं आया है तो you can just add this also to it, so that will help you very beautifully. So then I just spoke to this mediclaim person and he's like, yes, you can just put in, we can just add it and we can just wait and see that क्या होता है, but 99% it has to get cleared, so don't worry about that. And in this physiotherapy thing, I was having so much of pain. मतलब वो हाथ इतना stubborn हो गया था, तो it was like there is so much pain, and I used to just, whenever she used to take me for the physio, as soon as I used to enter the physiotherapy room, I used to just start chanting, I am Meenal, I am Meenal, I am Meenal, and I am taken care of. And so beautiful that the lady who used to take my physiotherapy, within a week she got changed. Matlab I shifted to evening batch, and the other girl who is there, she's doing it so lightly and I'm getting more flexibility. मतलब मुझे बिल्कुल भी दर्द नहीं हो रहा है और flexibility इतनी quickly आ रही है. तो
Energy
this
change
miracle
किया
is
है तूने,
amazing.
so beautiful, so miracle और हो गया, so amazing. So even just to remind, so you didn't talk about the miracle, but this is what happened, that Dipali fell in Australia. She fell, and she fell. We were in a boat, and the boat rocked or something, and then she fell, and then she had a fractured arm. Did you have a fractured arm, Dipali?
Yeah, fractured my arm, left arm.
Yeah, fractured her left arm. And then, we were all in the middle of a very, very tight schedule. And then she was there also then. But we said, okay, let's go to the hospital. Do you want to go to the hospital? And there was a lot of resistance to go to the hospital. But I was guided that, okay, fine, iska abhi to iska healing karo. So all that I did was, I'm not the healer, but whatever energies wanted to go to Diwali in that moment. So I put my hand over her and we did some healing. And 5 minutes of healing, not more than that. But whatever those frequencies were that were to be received by her, she still didn't want to go. And then in guidance also, I got to say, okay, she doesn't need to go to the hospital. So she didn't go to the hospital, but she had 15 more days. And the arm was completely manageable. That much healing happened within those 5 minutes that the arm became manageable. It stayed manageable for 15 days. And then when she came back and she was, not going to the hospital, but the husband said, let's go to the hospital and get everything done, all the checkups. In the checkups, when it was found that it is actually a dislocated and a fractured arm or something, and then Dipali called me up all flustered. Why do I have to get this operated? Why do I have to do this? And I said, instead of focusing on why and like, oh, this is so unfair and this and that, and if I do these things happen to me. And I said, can you imagine the grace that you didn't have to go to hospitals in Australia. Your entire trip went off without visiting a doctor. You could come back here. You weren't in pain. The pain was taken away. And yes, there was discomfort. The arm was still stuck, but it wasn't in pain. There was no swelling. There was no such thing. And so the amount of ease and grace that you've had, please be thankful for it rather than putting your, why does it have to? Now that you are back home, you have help, you have support systems. Over here, you are being sent to the hospital. Be in gratitude for that as well. And so, and now when she tells the story, it is with the lacing of the gratitude. So that is our journey. We always get, lost here and there. But when the finger gets pointed back to gratitude, then more and more ease and grace is what we get to see.
Yeah, but my hand was totally, when I was falling down, my hand was literally shaking.
And when Ma did the healing, it was like after 2 hours also when I checked कि अरे क्या हालचाल है, मतलब अंदर थोड़ा देख लूं हिल रहा है क्या हो रहा है. It was totally stuck. And मतलब बिल्कुल भी मुझे प्रॉब्लम नहीं आया. I did everything that I wanted to do in Australia. और इतना सामान लेके भी मैं खुद आई, everything. And I was guided that once you reach home, you will go to the doctor, and my husband forced me. So the same day I went to the doctor, and that doctor, matlab, everything is so much. Every day I'm experiencing the miracle. Matlab, if somebody is not doing properly, if I feel that, I just come to equanimity that nahi, she is doing exactly what is perfect for me. And then the next day everything comes folds so perfectly. So yeah, thank you so much, Ma, for this.
Wonderful. So beautiful. Wonderful, wonderful.
Frequency.
Okay, I was about to finish off, but I see Sravasti here. Hi. How are you, Srav? What's up with you? We can't hear you. Can you hear me? Yeah, but you're on mute. Unmute, unmute, unmute.
Trying to. Yeah. Hi. Happy New Year.
Hi. Happy New Year to you as well. What's up?
I'm good. I'm better than the what happened. So
Yes.
I did your course, and 2021 beginning, and we had a wonderful year. And then, as you know, Bidhan got admitted, and you kept telling me to give him a love. And every time I was about to think of outcomes, I reminded myself, and I think I was able to give him that unconditional love that he needed. And a few days before, so he had a brain hemorrhage at the end, and his parents wanted to keep his body alive, still on the. Even he was brainstem dead, but they wanted to keep him going. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to, try and get this request of them, because they were having difficulties, obviously, coming to terms with that law, that, and the fact that the medical imperatives probably is something they didn't understand so much. And then I remembered I wanted to, it happened so miraculously. Usually, I wanted to save his sperm so that I have the option later on of having a surrogate child or not. And usually it takes them like weeks, but the doctors were able, and they said they haven't got a request in 15 years like that in the
wow.
ICU.
Yeah.
But one of the doctors who I was not very happy with, I thought was very cut and dry, like he's going to go, he's not going to survive. I was like, why is she being so rude to me? And then, of course, every time I felt those things, I just released them. And she really helped me so much. And she got the approval. So I got a day's extension from that. And the last week that Bethan was in the hospital, we had the most compassionate ICU attending. I mean, that was a miracle in itself, because she was not supposed to come back so early, but somebody couldn't do it and she came back. And because of her, I mean, we got to say goodbye to him in a way that his parents were like there. And we were able to do a lot of stuff that otherwise we wouldn't have been able to, because she was so compassionate.
Well, why was she so compassionate? Because
she was amazing, and
your frequencies asked for ease and grace, my darling.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, Mani, this is thanks to you. This is like, I just told him 2 days before that, when I was realizing what was happening, I said, look, obviously we would like you to come back, but if it is not meant to be, and if this is what you want, I will find out a way to be okay. I will not hold you back. And since then, I know, and I know that he told me that I need to go, because I cannot be with you in that condition that I would come out if I came out. Yeah. And I cried a lot, obviously, but I accepted it in ways. It took me a lot of time. The other thing that happened was they wanted to do a puja, his family. and there was no way the doctor would get an extension because I already got an extension for the medical thing for the extraction of 1 day. But I was like, what should I do? What should I do? And Mani said, you talk to the doctor. And I spoke to that same attending. She said, I need to speak to the priest. She spoke to the priest and she said, I'll give you a 24-hour extension till the time that you can do the prayers. And I told Vedhan, I said, if you want to stick around till that time, but if you want to go on your terms, please do what you feel like doing. And I will be okay with it. And you know what? He, on his own, his soul finally went peacefully and with joy. And there was so much of light in the room in the morning of that Tuesday. He went at a time when everybody could come, say goodbye, and he went on his own terms. And it was, I cried a lot, everybody cried a lot, but I also felt that Mani was there to handhold both of us through this journey. And on the way back, when I was coming back from the hospital, a friend I had just met, an Indian lady, she called out of the blue and she didn't know, she was just a new neighbor. And she said, you know what, I'm going to come and get you food. And for the 13 days, she got me food. My neighbors, Mani supplied and sent me such beautiful neighbors who guarded me and still today do that, you know. So that's miracle every day. I mean, I'm so blessed. And the other day, I know Mani and my husband, we are all together and they did the naughty little trick on me. The door was open just a little bit and a little sparrow came in. And I was running up to the sparrow to get him out. I was like, Mani, very funny. Okay. Then the sparrow went into the puja room. And I was like, where are you going? Like, okay. And then I opened the window and I clapped my hands and Mani keeps sending him inside the closet and then finally went out of the window. I was like, yeah, that's funny. That was really funny. So, you know, I'm okay. I'm getting work. I'm not even asking and people are calling and I'm getting work I love doing. So I'm okay. I think in the new year, I'm blessed. That I got to spend that 2.5 years with my husband.
Wonderful.
And the love is eternal, right?
Oh, totally. So we don't understand that. And that is when we just simply pin it to a body.
So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for everything.
Oh, how beautiful. Thank you for the love. Thank you so much for coming here to share your story. Thanks so much.
Thank you and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to all of you. Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you so much. Lots and lots of love to everybody. And with such a heart full of gratitude and joy and so much love for each one of you. Thank you for sharing your stories and making this the most amazing, most wonderful webinar of all of them. Thank you, everybody. Lots of
Thank you, Ma. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, all. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Love you.
Thank you. Lots of
Bye.
love to everybody. Thank
Lots
you.
of love and hugs to you,
Bye.
dear Mima.
Love you.